Good evening and welcome to ILRGT and welcome to the season finale. I am your commentator and broadcaster today, doing the solo job. I am Jack, and thanks for tuning in. It's obviously a very important day for a couple of drivers out there, and we're looking at one of them right now, Frisky CJ Chris Johnson, currently on second position, and Jamie narrowly ahead on the provisional pole. But as we know, this is the final race of this season, as Chris Johnson's in a little bit of traffic, and the final race at Interlagos, Brazil. It's a beautiful summer's day. Track temperature is warming up as this qualifying session continues. As you can see, this is playing havoc for Frisky here. A lot of traffic. Round above Jamie's finding a little bit more luck for space. There's a battle. We'll be going live to the race in about 7 to 8 minutes. People already tuning in on the stream. It's great to see. Obviously, the last race of the season, round 10 of this Gran Turismo Racing League on ILR. Have a quick rundown of the standings. Current grid. Jamie is on pole. Of course, he will get a point as well for pole. Each driver who gets pole does get a bonus point, so that will give him a 3-point advantage going into this race. So Frisky, we'll call him Frisky, needs pole, and that will narrow it by a point. I feel like if Jamie does nab pole, he's going to have to finish lower than second. We haven't seen that too often this season. Michael Davis returning to form last week in Dragon's Tail, and he's in P3 again, so hopefully he can have another great battle, which you saw last week. MK Born in 4th, the battle for 3rd between Michael. Red Jam's in 5th, a couple of attempts behind. Bulletproof in 6th, a little bit, and then a little bit of a gap, which we have seen this season between Vectro, Mr. Costa, J Luke, It's Me, and David between Aussie, Dot Car, and Dr. Pirelli. So 4-6 yet to set a lap as well. As you can see there, notification that is 5 minutes to the race. Obviously now drivers will be coming in. Get a fresh set of Ultra Softs on right before this qualifying session ends. A couple of minutes. Michael Davis with a penalty. Obviously apparently some of the track extending / corner cutting is a lot tougher after a recent patch. So there was a lot of track extension last season, but not as much forgiven this time around. We'll have a flick through there. The rest of the field, we've got MK Born in 5th in the BMW. Spawn is German heritage. And Red Jam's in a special Brazil theme livery today, as we can see, the yellow and green. Matching the campaign very well here. He will be the head ILRGT coordinator from next season, Red Jam, so he will be helping me quite a bit, which will be great as he gets out of the way of the central driving. Portuguese man, Mr. Costa Andre, ILR2 driver. He's a welcome addition this season. He's been scoring consistent points, maybe not in the top 2 or 3, as the golfing class is so large in this field, but he has been a great point scorer. Vectro in the Martini Williams-esque livery. Just see him go for a slide, and he's on the grass. And he's flicking those hazard lights on. That would save him. A couple of viewers in. It's great to see. 4-6 in P12. Scott, our lobby host on ILR mainstay. Got Aussie, the Swede. He is in P11 on his debut, ILR GT debut. And Dark Carter Philip making his debut today as well, which is also fantastic to see. So he will be getting a taste of the action for next season. Next season we will be moving to Wednesdays at 7 PM, and we're still undecided on the class. Most likely to be Super GT GR2, which is exciting. As Jamie and Frisky still divided by 0.158 of a second, just over a tenth. So this is an important part of this race, and we haven't even begun it. It's qualifying. There is 2 minutes left now. We can't see it, but there's 2 minutes left. You see the bottom left-hand counter, we're looking at 20 minutes on the clock, and then that's when qualifying finishes. It's manual qualifying, so it's up to the lobby host. He's given strict time at 7:10 to start the race. So we'll be on a countdown, 2 minutes remaining. As we can see, Jamie's getting quicker and quicker. As Frisky goes pole, Jamie has to go wide for dark car, but will he get the run out? This is where the Honda is struggling on the straight line speed. He's very quick in sector 2, Jamie, but will he be able to stick on pole? He'll only get one good run on this. He's got fresh soft tyres on. Will he get pole? He does! He's a 10th up. That it could be crucial, and he knows it. The Honda driver sticks it on pole, and that's going to be heartbreak for Frisky. He will not have time to bolt on a new set of tyres, so he'll have to go again. It's a bit different, GT Sport 2 F1. All the cars start on a full tank of fuel, and they have to work their way through qualifying, beating the laps. Because the cars will get lighter, they will get quicker as it goes on. So it's just a case of putting on some fresh Ultra Softs a couple of times during the qualifying. So with just over a minute left, this is likely to be his last run. It's all or nothing now. He's got to throw caution to the wind. He's just over a 10th. These guys are getting quicker and quicker. Great to see a couple of guys joining the views. We'll just have a little flick through the chat, see if anyone's there. Paul McGuinness, Corey, Josh Games, and Jake Guy. What up, guys? The title contenders Jamie are Jamie in P1 and Frisky in P2. As that is a penalty, and Frisky's in. So it looks like Cairns with Chris Johnson. He's in the pits, but he's not going to have time. See Jamie now crossing the line as qualifying is coming to an end now. It looks like we've seen the main action, and he goes even quicker. Just the stamp of authority on that, and that could be his name getting printed on this trophy. Unbelievably close at the front, as Scott, you can see, has started the final. Have a quick little flick through. We've got Bulletproof Mike, MK Born, Red Jams, Costa, Vectro, It's Me, Four Sticks, JWF, Aussie in P12, and we will now go to the start. This is the final. This is the season finale. We're in Interlagos, the title decider. One of the closest title deciders in ILR history. You can see the driver ratings, A+ and S rating. The best you can get on this game. These guys are in the international competition as well, these two. They're no slouches. They're some of the best drivers on the game. As we're going to have a rolling start. We have known the auto drive glitch has been a casualty, has caused a few casualties, should I say, this season, as we are rolling. So hopefully there's no glitches further down the field. It'd be absolute travesty for the front two get it. But Jamie will lead them away. Very Frisky right behind that. Mitsubishi's going to have the straight line speed. And we're away. We're away at Interlagos. Jamie gets away with Frisky and Bulletproof. Will he try anything silly on the inside? He dare not do that. As Frisky in that Mitsubishi is looking to get a bit of a gap between the guys behind him. He doesn't want to cut up in the traffic behind. Otherwise it will be curtains. Bulletproof, Michael Davis, MK Bourne will always want to say, but you can see the straight line speed of Frisky compared to that Honda. As he all up in this gearbox, and he's already slight little bit of contact there, but we've seen in sector 2 in qualifying how quick Jamie is. As they're going side by side now through sector 2 already. This could be anything like Dragon's Tail. We're in for a classic. They were side by side for literally 5-6 laps. As Frisky's looking on the inside there, he's going to just give a little nudge to Jamie, and he's got the lead. He's got the lead, so it's 10 points for a win, 8 points for second, 6 points for third. As Michael Davis and Bulletproof looking to have a little scrap further behind us, but Frisky has now got the lead. Tyre wear does come into it. In fact, we've got a couple of multipliers on the tyre wear and fuel, so we'll see some alternate strategies. Unfortunately, the graphics, display graphics, we can't see what tyres are on, but I can guarantee they'll all be on the Ultra Soft, the softest compounds here for this race to begin with, and then probably stick on the softer mediums towards the end. But that one, Frisky's got the job done on Jamie. It was 3 points going into this race. He's now down to 1. Jamie is currently leading the title. He's going to win it if it stays like this. But Bulletproof's looking on the inside of Jamie. He's looking on the inside of turn 1. He's done it. So as it stands now, Chris Johnson has the tail in the back, and Bulletproof's not going to let him go easy. And that you can just see the speed of that Mitsubishi. And Jamie's down to P3. Bulletproof out of nowhere. He's come back after taking a break for the season, but he's up into P2. And this has put a cat amongst the pigeons for this race. And now there's a gap in between. And can Bulletproof be the thorn in Jamie's side for this title decider? As you can see how close the rest of the pack is. And this is a key moment in this Grand Prix. How long can Bulletproof keep Jamie behind? We know Jamie is he's a master on the tyres and fuel. He off shifts like crazy to save that fuel. So we interesting if Bulletproof can keep him behind. Sector 2 is Jamie's. He's a good couple of attempts quicker than any other driver in S2. But as you've seen, that Honda Power NSX does struggle in the straight lines. And here we see a little bit of a gap forming here. A great panoramic shot of the track. Famous track, the Ayrton Senna track, some people fans like to call it. But James got an excellent run now. Coming up the long sweeping left-hander. That's where Lewis Hamilton took Glock to win the 2008 F1 Championship. A lot of F1 fans know that. Famous moment in British motorsport. As Chris Johnson's getting a little bit of a gap. We can see how quick Bulletproof is through there. Look how close the rest of the field is. We'll have a little quick flip through the field. Now we've got Michael Davis in P4, Red Jams in P5, and MK Born in P6. We've still got the battle for P3. Michael Davis needs to get a P3, and MK Born probably finish low in the 7th. Bit of a tall order, but you never know in this class of racing. As Mr. Costa and Red Jams looking very close here. See MK Born flashing a penalty for some sort of contact and maybe a slight corner cut somewhere. As you can see, Bulletproof is on the money for pace right now. He's looking all at the back of CJ. Vectro also picking up another penalty, and it's me and 4 sticks. The ILR vets, if you want to call them that, mainstays from race 1 nearly. Battle for 9th and 10th, 9th for points. J-Luke had to pit lap 1 for some reason. Obviously P12 struggling. You can see the apologies for that. He's gone for a spin, so not the great start. I'm not sure what's up with JW15. I don't know. Hopefully he's not got the auto drive glitch. I'm not seeing any complaints yet in the chat. We're going to return to the front, and this is the business end of this race. And we can see Bulletproof. Surely not, he's looking on the inside. There's contact between them, and Butt's going to push Bulletproof slightly to the grass. And surely not, Bulletproof is going to make a move with Chris Johnson. These two do not give an inch in F1. They're not going to give an inch now. And Frisky looks like he's going to keep P1, but Bulletproof, he's out here to cause a bit of trouble. And he's been dropped down to P3 as a result, promoting Jamie. And this is going to be a long, long race for these guys. Oh, if there was an accident. As Frisky CJ runs slightly wide there. And Michael Davis is going to catch onto the back of this pack as they battle, and just like what happened in Dragon's Tail. So as you can see there, as Frisky did run wide, he's going to pick up a time penalty, but he doesn't have to slow down. He can slightly, he can let off the throttle and select corners of the track, and it will count towards his 2-second penalty. So it's not as clear as F1 when you get a definitive penalty. You have to go stop-go. They can let off the throttle at certain points in the track, and they will serve the penalty. As you can see, Jamie in P2, only four attempts down on him. You can see how close they are right in front of us. Unbelievably close. Lap 4 of this Grand Prix. We still have 21 to go. Bulletproof in third. He's been a right troublesome guy for these two in front. He is not let up 1 second. He's here for business. And to be honest, the way he's been racing in Dragon's Tail today, you could argue, could he be a title contender next season? And he's looking all over the back of Jamie as the camera will turn to turn 1. It does. And Bulletproof's looking very quick on the start finish straight here. But Jamie's got a really good run on Chris Johnson. You can see how close they are. It's an unbelievable close race in this. The top 5 separated by 1.5 seconds. As he's going to take a defensive line there, Chris Johnson, and Jamie's going to follow him through all single file right now. Look how close it is, and then Michael Davis is going to Surely have a little look at Bulletproof, and Jamie and Chris Johnson defending really hard for each other. And he's still got to serve that penalty somehow. Surely he's eating away in it. We can't actually see the extent of his penalty. It'll only be 1 or 2 seconds. As Chris Johnson looks like he's struggling for a little bit of traction this early on in the race. So that's playing to Jamie's hands quite a bit. I've got to say, he's a little bit struggling on pace. He's a bit of a bottleneck. As Bulletproof and Red Jams did have a coming together in Dragon's Tail. More of a racing incident, but hopefully we don't see that again. As these 5 are literally separated by 1.5. Even MK Bourne's like, you know what, guys, get me on this as well. Let's make it a 6-way battle for the lead. It looks like it is. And we've got 6 cars going up towards the famous start-finish straight into Interlagos. Frisky CJ leads away, still has a bit of a penalty. Jamie looks like he'll win the slipstream. Can he get the NSX power down on that Honda? As they're going to go side by side into turn 1. The sweeping downhill left-hander. Jamie's late on the brakes as Sly ghosted because he got the penalty. But he's got the job done. No, he hasn't. Chris Johnson saved the spot. Chris Johnson really needs to lose his penalty because as you might have caught on the downwards to turn 2, anyone with a penalty, their car ghosts, which is an unfortunate feature of this game. As Bulletproof is looking to defend a little bit from Red Jams. Mike there's getting pushed out a little bit to the grass. As MK Bourne looks to go in the back of this, sorry. As we have 6 cars now, hurtling towards the tricky U-corners, U-bends of Sector 2. The more technical side of the track. It's a very undulating track this. You go swooping down left and you have to bring it right back up the hill. The traction is very keyed out of these corners. As we have 6 cars, yes that's right guys, 6 cars in the battle for the lead. It looks like a spin in the behind. Oh no, I think Mike just had a slight tank slapper, but he's recovered pretty well. See, these guys have got penalties. I won't look too much into that at the moment. I just have Jamie now, almost pushing Chris Johnson up the hill. Jamie's getting fantastic traction out of that last corner. It's causing all sorts of problems for Chris Johnson. Surely he can't defend too hard. He's going to have to keep this lead Frisky if he wants to have any chance of winning this title. But are we going to see a sort of Nico Rosberg, Hamilton-esque sort of move towards the end of this race? Is Chris Johnson driving slowly to cause this sort of effect, to cause a trouble? Is he doing this? Is he doing Lewis Hamilton in Abu Dhabi in 2016? I'm starting to think he might be. He can drive a lot quicker than this, but he wants Jamie to have some issues. He wants Bulletproof Red Jams. He wants Mike or MK Bond to make moves on them, as we can see here. Look how close it is. This Frisky is slightly ghosted. But Bulletproof, look how close this field is. I'm not going to have a voice by the end of this race. And they're literally separated by half a tenth of a second. A few of these guys have got penalties. Oh, dearie me. Let me just have a quick sip, guys. Sorry about this. Oh, action packed. As Frisky is still holding on, but he is... Oh, you can see him squirming there out of that corner. Traction is becoming a little bit of an issue now. These tyres are be looking a little bit worn as Bulletproof is literally in the diffuser of that Honda. They're getting very close, but Frisky is backing these guys up, and I'm starting to... Maybe I'm being a bit cheeky suggesting it, but maybe a bit Lewis Hamilton-esque in Abu Dhabi. I'll tell you what, it's giving me a great race to commentate on. As obviously that Mitsubishi power, he can get the foot down here and makes it a lot harder for him to overtake. As looking like 4 wide into turn 1, surely not. As Jamie looks like he might have got the move done. As Chris Johnson's going to fight back, there's a slight bumping. Chris Johnson's been pushed wide by Jamie. And he's down to third and Bulletproof's up to second. And my Red Jams might even go Frisky as well. So Chris Johnson's had an absolute disaster of the first 2 corners there of this new lap. And he's going to be battling now to save his ILRGT Championship hopes. He's going to have to take some risks. We're going to see some massive accidents, as Evil Dragon would say. As Red Jams goes slightly wide onto the grass. Sure, that's going to be a penalty for him as Jamie now leads this race. And surely now he can put it down and belt on. We'll see now. We'll see the true pace of this race. As Frisky is down into P3. So as it stands, Jamie has a 7-point lead. And the title would be his. As MK Bourne is looking very raggedy at the back there. And you can already see Jamie is very quick in sector 2. So these guys are going to have to stop squabbling as Chris Johnson's got the move done on Bulletproof there. This is fantastic racing. You don't make a move there, but he's like, you know what? You know what, Bulletproof? I need to get this done. I need to get back up there. I need to take P1 back. Absolute disaster there from Chris Johnson, though, on that previous on this lap, should I say. Went from P1 to P4, but he's recovered to P2. As Jamie now has got a 0.8 lead. We're getting close now to the pit window as Frisky pits. As does Jamie. So Jamie there saving a lot more fuel. They'll see them on the super soft. We'll see what tyres they go on now. I don't know if it's glitch, but it looks like a lot of the drivers have not put fuel in, but they've put fresh set of super softs on. So maybe they're going to run light to the end and then put another set on in about lap 18 or so. So interesting strategies. A lot of them have done the same. As we'll see where they filter now out on track with some of the back markers now come to play. We know J-Luke has already pitted. So interesting to see if he's on the harder compound. He could be running feature in this race later on. As we'll catch up to where Frisky and Jamie are. We look at the lead now for MK Bourne, 7 seconds ahead. He does lead this race as Vectro yet to pit is proving a bit of a bottleneck as Chris Johnson also squeezes through there. That was a key move, he had to get that done, and Mr. Costa also yet to pit, I believe. All for track position, but these guys yet to pit. See Vectro in the pits. See Red Jams and Bulletproof there touching through turn 1. These guys did have a little coming together in Dragon Tail, like I mentioned earlier. So no love lost between them. Mr. Costa stays out in P3 yet to pit. Is he trying to extend this stint to make it into a 2-stop? If so, it could be a strategic masterclass. As we've missed, unfortunately I've missed Frisky retaking the lead on Jamie. So Chris Johnson now leads this Grand Prix. The gap between them as it stands is Jamie is leading the title, and he will be his by 1 single point. Chris Johnson needs to win this race, and he needs Jamie to be P3 or lower. 10 points for a win, 8 points for second, 6 points for third, and then 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I see Callum has left the room, unfortunately. Another disaster class for Callum. He's had a dreadful season. See Aussie struggling here, just on the McLaren. First race, quite clearly off the pace, and Dan Carr in P11. I think the pace of these guys, they may get caught in a little bit of traffic. J-Luke in 10th. 4-6 and Vectro in P8 and P9. Scott looking to get some valuable points as the season comes to a close, reaching the almost halfway point of this race. MK Bourne in 6th, Michael Davis in 5th. Field has been a little bit spread out since this pit stop. Bulletproof, Red Jams and Michael, a little more of the losers. The front two have kind of galloped away, which is a bit of a shame. Maybe if they keep battling, these three can come back into it. That's what Frisky needs. I don't know if he's going to try and go a bit slower. He's going to have to do something to cause a bit of trouble for Jamie. We watch Bulletproof and Red Jams and Mike all head towards the start-finish line. As you can see, look how late Jamie is on those brakes. And this is the battle. This has been the battle of the season. It's been the talking point of the season. These two streaks ahead of the rest. We can see the front three just behind in the background there. Chris Johnson, dare I say it, if he wasn't before, he's going to have to do it now. He's going to have to do a Lewis Hamilton Abu Dhabi. He's going to have to cause a little bit of trouble. I don't know how slow he can afford to go. But you can see tyre wear is more of the issue than fuel here. So a lot of these guys, when they pit, they didn't refuel. They just put a fresh set of super softs on. So imagine we'll probably see a pit stop around the lap 17, 18 maybe. So and then they'll probably stick another set of super softs and splash and dash, so to speak. As a disgrace ex-commentator finally leaves the lobby. I see Frisky trying to get ahead, but that you can see the time is closing a little bit. That Honda staying with him in the slipstream. As the other guys, I don't know how far behind. We'll have a little quick look. We'll monitor this time. But if these guys are battling, they're not going to be catching up as quickly as Red Jams and Bulletproof going side by side. And Bulletproof looks like he's got the move done. And Mike Davis is just going to be watching this, thinking, you know what, guys, have a little of a crash. I don't mind. I don't mind another P3. Because I was saying, the battle for P3, Michael Davis does need to finish probably third, and I imagine MK Bourne's 7th or 8th for him to leapfrog him to take the best of the rest, so to speak, from Chris and Jamie. As you see these two, the gap is 6 seconds, so you guys can keep an eye on that as well. We're 6 seconds off. 6.2, 7.2, 2.7 MK Bourne. I've seen it a few times this season how spread out the field can get in this category of racing. I'm looking at a little battle here, the final points position. Jay looking over the back of Vector, as obviously there's a penalty, he can go to the side, which is unfortunate. Oh, slight contact, and you can see that now, a slight bump, and J-Luke's gone for a massive spin as Vector's touched the grass, and he's gone wide, and that is just going to let Scott ease past into the final point spot. He will be delighted, and J-Luke, unlucky. Jamie there, been P10, he'll be fuming himself at that. He knows he's got the pace here to be higher up. He's had a great start to the season, averaging P3, 4, 5, quite often. Last race has not been quite there. He was away as well, so Mr. Costa, the Lone Ranger, in P7. MK Bourne in P6. Michael Davis P5 in this little train here. And we'll have a little look at the gap. It's up to 7 seconds now, so unless Jamie has a disconnection or a massive accident, I can't see any other title winner at the moment. The competition isn't there for Frisky and Jamie for anyone to really challenge. We saw the challenge earlier on, but these guys have dropped off quite a bit. See the penalties. Obviously, the penalties, you can goes through, which is a shame, as it looks like Red Jams is going to have a little move on Bulletproof. He isn't. But I think Frisky's going to the pace is quite slow in this race. I'm actually a little bit surprised. There's I'd say a good few tenths off. So MK Bourne is starting to catch this train as well. MK Bourne was fairly quick in qualifying. There wasn't much between them. Got a couple of instances. Red Jams look on the inside. He touches the grass a little bit. It's going to compromise his exit. As they're going side by side in the Iron Brew car with the Buckfast Scottish themed for Bulletproof. Wouldn't have it any other way. The Dundonian in P5 looks like he's got rid of his penalty. Oh, he hasn't. Michael Davis another penalty. So a mental battle. Michael Davis was saying how terrible the F1 game is, but some of the racing you do get in GT Sport is ridiculous. It's fun. It's clean most of the time. It's exciting. It's underwatch stream, in my opinion. It's some of the best racing I've ever seen in ILR in this league. As we have seen some today as well. Mega battles. Top 6 set forever. 1 second was ridiculous. As see Bulletproof is in the pits already, so he's not made that fuel last as long as some of the other guys. Only 9 litres of fuel left, so he's going to fuel and probably stick on maybe some softs to the end. Yeah, you can see him there fueling up. Does take a while, so obviously, unlike F1, a heavier car, because of more fuel means you're slower. So the overcut is a lot stronger in this game than the undercut in F1. But you can see he's stuck on some super soft. He's got 40 litres of fuel in. And that'll probably be him to the end. Super Soft's probably be struggling a little bit at the end of this race though. It would be great to get a few more drivers in ILRGT. Maybe have 2 classes, or maybe have 2 tiers with a bit more spread of the abilities. A lot more close to find in that tiers. But this is the 1 tier at the moment. It's only our 2nd season, of course. But always looking to get more drivers involved in this. As you can see, who's number 13 there? That was Dark Car going wide. As Scott now has Vectro all over the back of him. We saw earlier a collision, but over a tank slap from Jamie. Or a slight touch anyway, wasn't really much in it. And then Vectro running wide, but he's now going to have to defend from Vectro Scott. As you see, Frisky's in the pits. He only had 2 litres of fuel left. That's corner fine. That's corner fine, Frisky. As Jamie continues, he's been known to save his fuel fantastically. Question is, will Jamie be able to extend the life of these tyres? Will he be able to extend this run for as long as possible? We know, I was just mentioning, there's yellow flags out in Sector 2. We were mentioning about the overcut. These cars will be a lot quicker. Mike Davis is also staying out. These cars will be a lot lighter. The tyre wear will be poorer. But if you can manage it well, you will be coming out top. Interesting to see, obviously, Mr. Costa as well getting amongst it. P5, Red Jams P6, Bulletproof P7. So now a lot of these guys are pitted, and there will be a splash and dashing to the end of this race. Scott on the usual pick of the Corvette. Said he wanted to pick something a bit different this season to everyone else, and I do like the Corvette. It's a lovely, lovely chassis. And Michael Davis is in. So 19 litres of fuel, quite a lot. He's obviously struggling for tyre wear. Surely he can't go in super softs again. As Jamie continues for yet another lap. This is the defining point of this race. I've got a feeling Jamie might be able to extend that over Chris quite a bit. have to wait and see. We'll keep an eye on that gap. It's 17.6. Mr. Costa is up to P3 in the current podium positions. I think he'll probably have to pit though, but he'll be delighted to be up there. It's a bit of a nosebleed. I see Michael Davis now re-enters. He has done the overcut on Bulletproof. I was talking about this and he's got the move done. Narrow margins here. He's obviously had a lot less fuel to put in than Bulletproof. Already had 16 litres, so that's probably why he's jumped them. And it's going to be all over the back of Red Jams now. Fresher tyres. I just need to get the Xbox ILR Xbox tweets out. As Jamie is in the pits now, so this is where we'll see where will he come out. He's already out the pit lane. As these guys are only just coming down the start finish first corner. As Jamie has jumped Chris Johnson. Chris Johnson's looking very racy now. He's going to have to get the move done. He goes out wide. Jamie's going to stick it on the apex. Those tyres are going to be cold though in that Honda. Will Chris be able to get it done? Jamie defends though, and there's slight weaving. It's all kosher. He's like to pick a line. He has. It's very narrow though through that section of the track. As this race is drawn to a close, obviously got our ILR Xbox races about to go live. Some of the eSports F1 drivers taking part in Tier 1. Ginger Andy and Diablo will be commentating that on our Twitch channel shortly. It's probably going to be qualifying by the time this finishes. You can flick over there to the race. The Austrian Grand Prix should be a sizzler. As Jamie has leaving Chris Johnson, as the gap behind is 7 seconds. So this is now more for pride than anything. Jamie can sit there in P2 if he wants to and win this championship, as Chris Johnson's going to make the move. He's got the net lead at 1,000th of a second. Slight contact there, but Jamie's held that in beautifully on the inside, and that's compromised Frisky's run. Start to look through the rest of the field. We've got Red Jams in P3, be his best finish of the season. Bulletproof and Michael Davis doing battle. Could be something we'll see next season as well, if Bulletproof sticks around for a full season. Sure, great pace coming back. MK Bourne in P6. Looks like he will take that P3, the best of the rest. MK Bourne will be delighted with that. LMC Motorsport driver. Mr. Costa in P7. Vector in P8. 46P9, J-Luke P10. And good to see Corey, Tom and Luke spamming the live chat. Wish I was surprised, but thanks for tuning in, fellas. Luke, you could be racing, but here we are. Dan Carr, Philip is rock class, but making his debut today, and I think he's going to find a lot of pace. First ever race with us in ILRGT, so not much expected of him, but it's good to see him out there completing those laps, getting the data in for the team. As we'll watch the battle for the lead. It seems to be the main battle on track and almost a theme for this season. Any comments in the chat? Who's your driver of the day? That'd be great to hear. Any ideas? Obviously Jamie and Chris have been battling on our race. Red Jams in P3, Bulletproof P4, Michael in P5, and Cable in P6. It was me, probably, if Red Jams can get P3, I'd give it to him. But if whoever wins this race, I think I might have to give it to Jamie. He's done brilliantly. He extended the life of those tyres extra 2 laps. Got the overcut done in Frisky. He had a lot to deal with in the first stint as well, a lot of traffic behind, but he dealt with it so coolly. So Y Racers saying, you beautiful Corvette. We'll have a little flick for you, Yuri. And there it is. 4.6, that Corvette does pair like a beauty down that back straight. Lovely dark red livery there. Next season for ILRGT, we will be moving to Wednesday nights. And we'll be Super GT, I most likely think. And yeah, hopefully it'll be a lot of these drivers featuring again. I like to give the option to the drivers to decide what car they want to drive, perhaps they want to compete in the format and the calendar. It's they're driving, so you know they should get to pick. I just put the format down, and they can pick the rest. So we had a big vote on the tracks and which class to run. Let's have a look for Bulletproof and Michael Davis. Michael's going to go for the P3, the final podium position. Bulletproof slide tap. And he gets around. Bulletproof is in P3 at the moment, so the Red Jams dropped down to 5th position. Don't know what happened there though, as Mike's slightly running wide. Look how close they all are. Almost 3 wide going into this next sector. Who dares brakes late? As Bulletproof's going to slightly nudge, get ahead in the apex. MK Bourne's now joining the party. That Iron Brew car's looking a little bit ropey in the back end. As Michael Davis got a look on the inside here. Slight contact. You can get away with a little bit of nudging and bumping in this category compared to F1 cars. You're flying off of the sidewalk glitch on F1 2017, but here you can get away with it a little bit more. As we see Red Jams going for a little tanks. Oh no! I see Red Jams there, slight little nudge of Bulletproof, and we know he's got a bit of a hot head, Sean. So will he be able to come back from that as Red Jams courteously lets him through. Very good sportsmanship as MK Bourne has took full advantage of this, and he is now up to P3. He's been nowhere this race. As looks like the battle for P3 in the standings is now on the track for MK Bourne and Michael Davis. As they cross the start-finish line, lap 23. 3 laps left of this race. 4 cars separated by less than a second. As Michael Davis will want to get this move done. MK Bourne's going to give him no space, hang out to dry there. But will Mike be able to get a good run on MK Bourne down this back straight? Mike was saying to me he's had not much practice at this track, if any. It's going side by side. MK Bourne is not giving him much space at all. He should do. As Bulletproof has retook the position of Red Jams. After Red Jams letting through slight contact, which is very sporting of him. Great to see. Need to see more of that in ILR. So MK Bourne, the Shell sponsored BM. Black spoiler with the German colours as well. Looking very lovely in the sun. Brazilian sunshine. Michael Davis, slight wiggle from there. Let's have a quick flick through to the front too. And you can see now Frisky has dropped off a little bit from Jamie. And looks like the tile could be going back with him. He could be defending champion. Could be claiming his second tile of the season. Second tile in as many seasons. Chris Johnson's pushed them all the way. Look at Red Jams and Bulletproof as well, just behind that. A quick rundown of this race. Jamie just over a second ahead of Chris now. That looks like that is done, and that also looks like Jamie has secured the title. Absolutely phenomenal drive from this season. Frisky in P2. He will be heartbroken, but he's led a stellar campaign. MK Bourne in P3 at the moment to secure P3 in the standings. Mike Davis in P4 wants that final podium spot. He's looking very close. Slight little bump there as well. Bulletproof in 5th. Red Jams with another disaster. That glimmering chrome green. Green. As Mr. Costa is looking to get in on the action. And Vector in P8. 4-6 in P9. J-Luke in P10. JW in P11. Aussie in P12, not far behind. Dark Car quite a bit further behind. That's 2 minutes in fact. Looks like obviously needs some practice, guys. Needs practice for more season 3. As Frisky's running really wide there. Tyres are telling. He's trying to throw caution to the wind now. Head's gone in that cockpit. We're on the final lap of this race. Final lap of season 2 of ILRGT. We'll be back in August for more of this action. You've seen how close this racing is. Michael Davis is all from the girl MK Bourne. MK Bourne's got a penalty. He runs slightly wide though. So Michael Davis can get a better run. No, MK Bourne's gained from it, but surely he'll get additional time added on to his penalty. Does Michael Davis just need to stay behind MK Bourne to claim 3rd? We'll wait and see. But Michael Davis in 4th, Bulletproof 5th, Red Jam 6th. So another little push as he's literally pushing through that car as MK Bourne is not giving an inch. Bulletproof will have a little say in this, I hope. As Mr. Costa's looking back at Red Jams. Red Jams is really... his tyres have hit a massive cliff and he's struggling severely. We're going to watch this battle for the final podium position. As Jamie wins the ILRGT title. He wins in Interlagos. He wins his 2nd season. He's won 2 back-to-back trophies in ILRGT. Frisky in 2nd. MK Bourne and Michael Davis now. Are they going to go side by side? Michael Davis, will he get the run on MK Bourne? This is going to be very close. Michael Davis! Oh, I think MK Bourne got it. Michael Davis in P5, don't know if he had a penalty. I'll tell you what, some very aggressive defending from Make. I don't know about that. I'd probably have to have a look at that for myself. He was pushing him off wide as Bulletproof gets 4th. Michael Davis P5. Red Jams in P6. Mr. Costa just denied it by Red Jams in P7. Vectro picks up P8. That beautiful Corvette in P9 from Scott. JW's in P11. J-Luke P10. You see the final standings. Final times. And what a season it's been. My throat is very sore. We saw a bit of a gap after the 2nd pit stop, which is a shame. But you can see the final race results here. But there we have it. ILRGT Season 2. And we have our new champion. He's retained his title in the Honda NSX. It's Jamie Ducey. Thanks for tuning in. I've been Jack.